What's up guys, today I'm back with another video and we are here with the owner of these two glamping domes. I gave a tour of the one that is complete last week, so if you haven't seen that, go check that one out. It is a luxury glamping dome and I thought it was really awesome, really great. And today, like I said, I'm here with the owner. He built these and we're just going to go over the building process and how that kind of looks like for maybe anybody interested in building one or getting into this type of thing. So what really got you into this? Like, tell me your idea. What made you decide to do a glamping dome?
Yeah, so one, we just wanted to build something cool, and I like these structures. So when we started down the road, we looked at shipping containers, tree houses, different glamping setups, and the main thing for us is we wanted an outdoor space. We wanted a place where people could slow down, and also experience something unique, something that maybe you've never done before. I've never been in a dome before. When I saw these, they just look cool.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went down that road. Also, you know, you think about what it costs to build something and what it costs to acquire land and, you know, all the costs that actually go into it. You think, well, what can we afford? We also didn't want to take on a lot of debt, so we started, you know, some financial things drove our decisions as well, and these are fairly affordable to do, so we went with it.
Yeah, so tell me more. So when you decide to go into it, what's like the first step that you do? How do you even start?
Well, for us, the site selection, the actual piece of property was huge because, you know, this is an area that people come to a lot. It's outside of Asheville. It's a destination. We wanted something that was close to town, close to amenities, but also a place where you could really be in nature. And if you wanted to just stay on the property, you could. Mm-hmm. So we got water here, there's a pond, there's a creek. So we had basically, as we were looking at different pieces of land, there was a list of things that we wanted, and location, what's the first rule of real estate, right? So
yeah.
The types of things, and also the accessibility, because a lot of places out here, like this is a place you could drive your Honda Civic, you know.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're from Charlotte or Atlanta, or, you know, a lot of people who come to Asheville from some of the surrounding you know, bigger cities, it's a little unnerving. And you know, I'm from Atlanta. I never thought I'd be out here building hippie domes and stuff, right? You know, it's not what I envisioned. But the first time you come to the mountains, if you're driving up the side of a gravel road, you know, and you're a little, like my wife is a little nervous to go up some of these pieces of land. So some of the pieces of land that we looked at, they're more affordable. But when you start thinking about the actual development cost and the site, just getting things going, putting in a well, putting in a driveway, the accessibility, and then also, you know, I found a piece of property that I thought was amazing and affordable and had an incredible view, but it was like 15 minutes down a gravel road. And
Dang.
That's just not, you know, when you start looking at the factors of what, you know, what are people looking for in a vacation and what do we want as a, you know, for our family and friends to enjoy.
Yeah.
This just sort of checked all the boxes for us. And so that's, long story short, how we came about this place.
Well, there we go. I think this place is very beautiful. Now, I did give a tour of the one that is complete, but as you can see behind us over here, he's building another one and he's in the middle of the process of that. So we'll be kind of talking about that. Tell me more about the one you're building right now, and maybe just from beginning kind of to end, just the overall idea of that and how to do that.
Sure. Well, I wanted to put a treehouse there actually, but because there's a guy, you've probably seen Nelson Tree Houses, the show. Yeah. They just look amazing. But when we started going down the road in terms of the cost and the time that it will take, we said, look, we've already done one dome. Let's just do another. There's efficiencies. There's things we've learned on the first one. So we decided to go ahead with the second one. I like that site because, you know, when you start getting into development and things, you have setbacks. The county requires certain things. And those drive some of the decisions that you make. If you're looking at building one of these on your property, you want to consult with your building code. I'm a general contractor. I sat down with the zoning department. You know, we had a site development plan before we got going. And so that's something that's really important if you're going to do what we're doing, which is, these are technically considered homes. They're like, we could live here. Mm-hmm. That's not what we built them for, obviously, but if you're going to do that, you have to start taking all these other factors into consideration. And so the coolest thing about this one is it kind of overlooks so I think you're going to be sitting there with your cup of coffee looking over and enjoying the view.
Oh yeah.
When I first walked up there, I thought, well, this is where it belongs, you know. It just was obvious. And I think, you know, sometimes the site will drive some of those decisions. But so the first one we built is 30 feet in diameter, which is 700 square feet. This second one here is a little smaller. It's 24 feet in diameter and I got confused because what is it, pi r squared, 3.1424?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. How do you calculate the area of a circle? No, jokes. This one's smaller. It's about 450 square feet. So our design decisions, and basically if you like anything inside, it's because my wife is amazing and she designed everything. She picked out the aesthetic. I just said, okay, I'll do, tell me what to do. So no, we this one was driven by what would you want if you were going to go out into the woods and have like a luxury, like a nice hotel room in the woods. That's kind of what we were thinking. So this has everything you need. It's got a kitchenette, it's got a bath, turns out people like showers, I love being outdoors. I love exploring, I'll swim in this little marginally, it's a pond, but also, you want to sleep on a nice bed. You want some, air conditioning. And so that's kind of what we were thinking is not sacrificing some of the amenities that you're accustomed to, but still getting an outdoor, nature kind of experience.
So I totally agree with all that. I've totally experienced, and this one behind me is really luxurious. I even said in the last video that it really is a home. You have everything you need. Now, this one that you're building, where do you build? I know you buy the framing from somewhere, but you don't get like the deck and stuff with it. So tell me more about that.
Sure. So we'll plug the manufacturer. They're called Pacific Domes. Great company. I highly recommend them. Anyone can find them online. They're in Ashland, Oregon. They have a great website that'll give you a ton of information. But what I like is that they're a small company that's been in business for a long time. They've made a lot of mistakes. They work with you, they consult with you throughout the process, and it's the kind of company that you can pick up the phone and talk to a person. They're excellent in that way. And so you have to begin to work with them on the design, the engineering. Like I said, we work with the building department, and so like we have a foundation inspection, we have mechanical, there's plumbing, there's electrical, so all of those different things. When you initially start, they'll give you a set of blueprints, and they have an architectural firm that they work with, and they have structural engineers that will help you design the thing. Okay. So what we did is we looked at the space and we said, I want it to kind of overhang a little bit. Like this one here, you'll notice it overhangs the little drop off there. So there's some engineering that goes in, there's some structural, things that need to be certified, and they work with you on that. They have they're licensed in all 50 states. So any place you want to build, they will give you the design, they actually give you more than you need. They give you like a 50-page document on snow loads, wind load. Like this structure falls outside the traditional building code, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to provide certain things to your local building department for them to, to satisfy certain requirements. And so they work with you on all that. They give you that. So it's a whole process of working with them, developing the thing that's particular to your site. And so they're great about that. Not everyone does. We did what's called a pier and beam foundation, which is just like a deck, but these are sitting on concrete with rebar. They go 30 inches in the ground. Not everybody needs to do that. Some people, you certainly don't need to do that if you're just going to put it on your property and put it on the ground. Put it on the ground. Well, you'll put it on these little, they're called deck concrete. You can buy them at Lowe's or Home Depot. Okay. It's just a little cinder block, and you probably are familiar with these, but you just set it right on the concrete, right on the ground. Okay. But for us, this needed to go beneath the frost line, which is 18 inches. So this is the thing I'm talking about without getting too technical. It's like, every part of the country is a little different and has certain requirements for what you need to build, But if you just want to put it out in your backyard, you can just set it on these and enjoy it. But if you want air conditioning and plumbing and
the whole shebang.
If you want the whole shebang,
Was there any coating, anything that was different than just a normal home that you had to really go around?
Sure. You may have noticed, but like when you vent plumbing or any kind of ventilation, it has to go through the roof, right? And so I don't know if you saw on the back end, but it actually goes through one of the holes. These windows are designed, you work with them on the design of where the window placement is, how it's oriented, where the door goes, and so these are some of the things that you want to consider. Also, I would recommend in terms of like passive solar, the orientation of the of the window is really important because you're going to have to think about how the sun is going to affect the heating and cooling, and so that's
True.
another thing to think about. Right now we're using this as kind of a 3-season structure, but this year we're going to put in the insulation package, which is another, it's an additional cost from Pacific Domes, but what it does is gives you another layer of R value of insulation, so that when you heat it, like we have a mini split, we have a heating units, and the problem with these structures, you know, if it's 18 degrees outside or 20 degrees outside, which gets cold, you can generate heat, but it's hard to keep it from
insulated.
Just, yeah. So the winter package that they provide will help with that. They also have a paint that you can put on the outside. It's like a thermo shield paint, what they call, and that gives you some additional energy savings.
Definitely, if you're interested in building one of these, take note for everything right here and definitely look into all of this. Is there anything else that you'd like to point out that you might not know when getting involved in one of these?
Well, there's a lot to consider, obviously. I think each situation is unique, and so there are certain blanket things to consider, but certainly reach out to us if you would like, and maybe I can help talk you through the process. We're getting ready to start a channel as well. I think we'll be doing some consulting and some things that will help you think about planning one of these, or a shipping container, or something, an Airbnb that's a little outside of the norm. There's a lot of these things to consider, so maybe check out our channel. How's that for a plug? I haven't even started my channel yet, but I'm trying.
Yeah, I'll leave it down below whenever it gets started.
Yeah, Blue Ridge Glamping.
And we'll see you guys next week with another video. There we go. Will that be the title of it?
That'll be the title.
Blue Ridge Glamping. I'll leave a link down to their website as well, and their Airbnb if you do want to stay here. Like I said, check out my last video all about the inside of the one that's complete. It's super cool. Thank you so much for telling us all about your experience and property.